What is the best way to make a knife to machine level precision? It can't be CNC milled, so it must be ground. But rather than learning how to grind a knife by hand, I'd prefer to build something that can produce repeatable, precise knife geometry. You see, the trick is if we grind a surface directly across the spine of the blade, we are going to get a bevel that is parallel to the spine, which is not what we want. We could do like this chap here, where he's free grinding and then moving the tip closer, but this is going to be impossible to repeat down the different grits.
I had a little oops here.
So this is what we need. We need a bevel that stays parallel to the edge of the blade. Rule 1, the reductive tool plane must be perpendicular to the knife edge. So this is what I'm talking about. The grinding plane must be perpendicular to the edge of the knife as the knife moves through the tool. This is what I've got planned. We have a aluminium guide rail that's going to be mounted down to a board. Nylon V wheels, these are going to run along that guide rail. This is going to make up the carriage assembly, which is going to hold the knife while it runs down that rail. These are M6 pins, which are going to control the angle of the knife bevel, and ball bearings on the other side to act as a kinematic hinge system. Then we've got springs and a locking bolt that we can fix that angle when we're happy. Magnets hold the knife in place, and then that wheel acts as the grinding surface. So reductive plane, grinding wheel, what am I talking about? After some consideration, I bit the bullet and bought a belt grinder. This particular one is 50mm by 915mm or 2" by 36", and that's the belt size. But to get it to something that's going to be usable for me, I need to adapt it to be more like a surface grinder than it currently is. Literally the night before I was going to cut these pieces, I realised there is a flaw in this jig concept. On the left here is an example of how this jig works, where the angle is changed above the profile. On the right here is what it really needs to be. The whole profile needs to move so that the bevel maintains its accuracy to the knife edge. Otherwise, with this original method, as soon as you change that angle from flat, you are no longer accurate to the knife edge. So I needed to modify the design to be something more like this one on the right. First casualty, as expected, not enough clearance, and I chip welded my first bit, but I have many others, so we continue. This is my CNC, affectionately dubbed the Buttermill. I built it about 5 years ago. I'm currently just tasking it with very light cuts. There's not a lot of chip clearance through these holes, and I'm also a little bit rusty on my programming, so I'd rather take it easy and not break too many end mills. But a CNC is just, in my opinion, it's probably the best tool in the workshop. Once you have one, you can design all your parts around it, and just so much is possible. It drives me absolutely mental working around it, but it is so useful. I do recommend. I did leave some hefty tabs on these parts. I just didn't want them moving and then ruining the only bit of alley I had. So I've got to clean these up, put in some holes and some chamfers, and then put together the assembly. Now, as well as a little bit of a cleanup of the edges and tabs, these parts also need some chamfers and some tapped holes. Also, I need to build the steel frame that this jig is going to connect to, that I can attach to the belt grinder. So the belt grinder still needs to be converted into something that's going to suit my knife grinding jig. I'm going to take off this platen and the tool rest and replace it with a rubber contact wheel that's proud of these aluminium wheels. This is a little aluminium part that I machined in with the rest of my other parts for the knife jig, and it's just going to bolt on with a couple M6s and allow the rubber contact wheel to sit proud of the aluminium running wheels. The reason to use a rubber contact wheel over these already installed aluminium wheels is a contact wheel that's made of rubber is going to be a much smoother grinding surface. It's like a skateboard with a steel wheel versus a polyurethane wheel. It's obviously going to be a lot of chatter and just not a very nice grind. So hopefully with this being the contact point, it'll be a smooth finish. Here I'm installing a belt just to try it out. I think I'm going to start with 120 grit belts, see how they go. But so far, this is looking pretty good. I don't think the tension will be an issue, but I think for now this is good. So how does the V2 jig work? It has many similarities to the first concept. It has this knife mounting post, I'm going to call it, but it has two sides. So I've machined in 4 holes in each side, and I couldn't machine in the chamfer because I was machining from the wrong side, but I did the chamfer post CNC work, and these hold 4 ball bearings. The ball bearings will act as a bearing or like a running surface against the aluminium. 2 M6 shoulder bolts go in as so, and these have 2 functions. The first function is to guide the direction of these posts and control it, and the second is to clamp the knife posts onto this track to sandwich it and reduce any rattle. So this is the first run of the jig, and I'm fairly happy with it. I was a bit worried about having steel on aluminium as a bearing surface, but I do have some ideas for contingency if it doesn't work out. And these little cams are set stops really for the angle adjustment. So when I find the angle for each side that I'm happy with, I can set these and always return to it comfortably. These also lock in to the central axis of the slotted plate and allows me to change the grinding angle of the knife. So here it is. This is the major difference between this and the initial jig, being able to control the angle with the slotted profile changing with it. So here's an example of how it's going to work. See, the knife edge should always be at the same point of contact with where that grinding wheel will be. Yes, I must also turn the knife steel into a knife blank. So I'm just cutting this on my bandsaw, giving it a rough shape and then a rough grind into the blank. Then we can throw it on the jig and get grinding. Okay, here we go. I'm tentatively easing into the grind just till I can get a feel of the machine and the jig and how it works. But I'm using an M10 bolt with a handle to slowly move in that distance and increase the reduction of material. I can already tell that the tip of the blade is getting a bit more material taken off. I'm not exactly sure why, but with a few adjustments, I've been able to correct this to a degree. The variables that I'm noticing are the hand-executed countersunk ball bearing holes. If they're not even, then the grinding surface won't be even. Also, if I haven't lined up the knife in the correct position on the jig, then the bevel will be put in the knife in the wrong location, maybe too far forward or too far back. But at the moment, I'm starting to get a bevel that's looking pretty consistent. I'm fairly happy with this. There's a little bit of chatter in the grind, which I'm also working on, but this is looking quite nice. This is another little modification, a steel bracket that I can clamp the workpiece down. The magnets work okay, but to get to the bottom of this chatter and to stop even a slight movement, which will change where the bevel is, I think this will be a good addition. Now, working this flat surface down has actually really evened out the bevel, which is really good. So it looks like there was a bit of a bow in the raw blank, which was giving a lot of unevenness. Now, I'm moved into the 220 grits. There's still a little bit of chatter, but I'm hoping that by going further down the grits, or up the grits, that surface gets better and better. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. This is getting into the Trizac belts. So I won't go all the way because there is still the tempering and hardening stage, but I did want to try it to see how it looks. And this I'm fairly happy with. There's a little bit of an error there, but overall, I think this is really coming up nice, and I've got a lot of hope for the final step. The steel now needs to be hardened. To do this, I'm going to first anneal it by taking it to about 706 degrees Celsius and then letting it cool down naturally. I'll do this twice, and then I can take it all the way up to 830 degrees Celsius and quench it to harden the steel. I'm actually going to quench it in canola oil, which is a hack I've heard because I don't have quenching oil. So I essentially need to get it to this red orange hot, which is about 830, and then quench it. This first attempt that I filmed did not work. I had to redo it in a fireplace to get it much hotter, but it did work eventually, and now I have the hardened steel. I can temper it back to a hardness suitable for kitchen knives. This light straw color indicates we've got a pretty good anneal on our hands, and now I'm just grinding it back to the final blade geometry. I didn't film a lot of this because I was just really focused on getting the knife right and a bit rushed. For the first attempt, I think this is a good result. There's a few things I want to modify. For example, the running of the bearings on the track, especially for hardened steel, gets a bit clunky. The evenness, but most of all, that chatter. Just trying to figure out, I think it's happening from the contact wheel not being perfectly round, but that is something I'm going to have a look into. Working on the handles and the next piece of steel, hopefully I'm going to get a finished knife.